nothing. And then it all changes. A touchdown to Justin Jefferson. Beautiful route and throw to Aaron Jones Sr. And then an option. And then Hockenson out there blocking for his guy. 3 touchdowns all in the fourth quarter. Minnesota a 3-point divisional road victory. We just visited with that man. And here's the head coach of Minnesota after McCarthy in his hometown will go home to his new home a winner.
J.J. McCarthy, clearly just I felt, the thing is I felt poised from the very beginning. I didn't necessarily think our entire group, with some of the things that transpired where we were really close on some things that could have changed the game a little bit. A lot of yardage that we got via some penalties there, but, just didn't do a good enough job sustaining, obviously converting third downs early on was an issue to be able to get drives going. But J.J. McCarthy, for him to make some of the plays he did, I told him at halftime, you are going to bring us back to win this game. And the look in his eye was fantastic. And the best thing is just the belief I felt from the team, the unit. And ultimately, that doesn't get done without him in the second half. 2 passing touchdowns and then the critical rushing touchdown, at the end.
Ryan Clark alongside, and I just sat here and told Justin Jefferson how much I appreciate his head coach, but he just sat there and lied to everybody and told everybody how close they were early on. I mean, I'm kidding, but right. They did not appear close.
Yeah.
The pick 6, and it's 17-6, and it felt like a wrap. And then as drastically as a game can turn, Ryan, it did. What happened?
I mean, it turned fast, and you mentioned it when you were talking to Jetters, right? The offensive line started to gel, and they got the run game going. But to me, it was the way that J.J. McCarthy was able to execute in the red zone. The first touchdown to Justin Jefferson was masterful planning. And so now you're going to see here, we're going to get a motion, and from the motion, they're going to create a bunch. So if we let the play run until they get into the bunch, we can now see how the route combination helped them get open. And so now once they get into the bunch, we're going to have a clear out here, which is going to take away one of the defenders. And so when the defenders goes, now it's going to be isolated on Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard is going to end up being on top of Justin Jefferson, who is going to cross his face. And when Jefferson crosses his face, Byard is behind, and then J.J. McCarthy layers a perfect throw. Now, as you watch the play unfold, we're going to get one defender to go across the field. Kevin Byard's hips are open. Now we saw Justin Jefferson cross his face. Great throw low and away by J.J. McCarthy. We listened to Scott talk earlier about the little hesitation from Aaron Jones. Here they're going to be right now. We're going to work one-on-one with this backer because we're going to have man-to-man. We're going to get a clear route here by Hockenson. Hockenson's going to make sure he gives him some room, and then we're going to push up the field on the post. Because there's man-to-man coverage, the corner is going to be going as well, which gives us the isolation in the middle of the field, and we'll get to see the stutter by Aaron Jones, which opens it up. Okay, so now we're right here, and we're waiting for him to go. Aaron Jones is going to give you the stutter and then move up the field. A good hesitation by J.J. McCarthy in the pocket, and he's able to push the ball downfield for the easy throw and the easy catch. I thought it was amazing to watch them not only understand ways to schematically get their guys open, but J.J. McCarthy having the poise, having the composure, and the patience to wait on those throws. When you throw an interception and when you're being pressured throughout the night, sometimes you start to speed up. J.J. McCarthy didn't allow the Chicago Bears to do that to him late in the second half.
And that coincides with Minnesota's defense getting pressure on Williams, sacking Williams, inability to run. And, I mean, whether you buy momentum or not, the energy in here changes entirely. And this city, which wants so desperately to believe both in its quarterback and its new coach, is sitting here thinking, is this happening again? And it ends with them booing their team off the field.
You know, to boo on night one is a little drastic, right? But that's sports. You talked about it early on. We're also logical when we're fans, right? When we're fanatics. We're also patient. But for Caleb Williams, I think part of it was he did start this game 10 for 10. He was moving in the backfield, creating plays with his legs. And then we watched that dissipate as the night goes on. It was almost as if he started to get comfortable, and now he fell back into some of those bad habits that we saw from last year. Minnesota began to stuff the run. They began to put pressure on Caleb Williams, and instead of him getting the football out of his hands, he started to try to create with his athleticism, and I think they were just off of rhythm. And we talked about it on our new Super Hub, right? We were talking about momentum.
Yeah.
And the fact that you could feel the momentum shifting in the stadium. Caleb Williams and the offense never found a play to stop the bleeding. And sometimes you just got to get that first down, get that drive to give your defense a chance to catch your breath and to give yourself something to be encouraged about.
In watching, and it's a totally different circumstance, but in watching Washington play New York on Sunday, you saw a game that was 14-6 for a lot of it. And New York had a difficult time. Their O-line struggling, and Wilson was struggling, and they couldn't get anything moving offensively. But Washington had the ability to finally get that 21-6 score, and all right, there's no way the Giants are scoring twice, let alone once. But Chicago couldn't get that score to put this thing away. After that, it's 17-6. And the fact that Minnesota, once they got that one, it felt like the entire energy changed. And now Chicago, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, we better do something. If we don't, we might be in trouble. And then the next thing you know, they're behind. Does that feel
Scott,
like,
you know what
am
happened?
I describing what you saw?
It felt like panic set in.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
There was almost a comfort in how well they played early. And then once the game got close, once the game got tight, it felt like they started to question whether or not they should win and that they have the goods to win the game.
Right, and then for the longest, it looked like Minnesota, okay, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But then once they did once, it's like being in a fight. You get punched once, you're like, no.
I asked pregame who would respond to adversity. When J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings hit adversity, they found an answer. They went a little deeper into their emotional tank and made plays. Chicago didn't.
It's not cliche. It's real, and you saw it in this football game, and that's why Minnesota gets this victory. And for all of you, there's some people out there that are trying to erase their tweets because, my goodness, y'all were burying this first year. Join us after another win here. You've never lost on this field.
Crazy.
Right?
Crazy.
The comeback is really remarkable because we just showed the highlight, and your quarterback's not a rookie, but his first start.
For sure.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
And there's the pick 6, and you're down 11.
Yeah.
What happened that changed everything for you guys? What was it?
Nothing. Honestly, we kept our head up, we kept our composure, and we kept fighting at the end of the day. We know the guys that we have in our room, the guys that we have on that offense, and it's just all about just going out there and just competing every single play.
JJ told Lisa Salters afterwards, he just mentioned the same thing, belief. How difficult is it to maintain belief in the face of the struggles that are understandable?
Tough. But you got to know adversity is going to hit. You know what I'm saying? Every game is not going to be perfect. That first half was a tough struggle. Us trying to figure out everything. Of course, having JJ as our new quarterback, trying to figure out everything. But that second half, when that locker room told everybody, look, keep our heads up. We're not even down by a lot. We haven't played our best ball, but let's go out there and complete.
Your O-line has added some significant pieces, and they seem to find their footing as well. And when you started to run, all of a sudden, now that play action's a whole lot more effective. How much credit belongs to the men up front that were able to help establish the run, which seemed to unlock a lot?
Tremendous. That's where it all starts at. The O-line is where it starts at. That's where our run game is going to pop off. That's when the passing game is going to pop off. So it's really kudos to the O-line for sure, but also to JP and AJ for running the rock and getting us downfield.
We were talking as we're watching as a group. I was talking with RC, and we were laughing about the idea that there are folks that discount the notion of momentum in life, and that's fine. But if you're in this place, you could feel it on your side. You're nodding your head as you score, and then all of a sudden you score again and get the 2-point conversion. Just describe how different the energy is on your side, because that defense started getting after it as well.
Momentum is a crazy thing.
Isn't it?
It is. And just like you said, coming off of my touchdown, that momentum strike. You know what I'm saying? We got some momentum. We got that juice flowing again. And, of course, our defense went out there and got some couple stops to get us back on that field to, score 21 points in the fourth quarter. Very difficult. We got it done. But, hey, it's definitely kudos to our defense for sure.
Nice little route there, Aaron Jones Sr. A little subtle little shoulder twitch there that gets the opening. He drops it in. And then you know what this is like, right? For a guy to go back to his hometown, and we did the story on Countdown. For those that missed it, when he's a little kid, he comes here in an Urlacher jersey. The very first game he sees is against Minnesota, and Adrian Peterson goes bananas and runs for like 2 1/4 and beats his team and breaks his heart. Now he comes in and then he gets the rushing touchdown to break some little kid's heart.
Full
but
cycle.
sorry, it's never personal. Always, it's just business.
Sure. Always,
we know what that is.
Always business.
We know what that is. But when you see him go in there and he walks out of this place a winner, what's that like for you all to know that you helped make a man's dream come true?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely something special for sure. To being from this hometown, to come in and to perform like this, very special, man. We're very excited about the poise that he had, the confidence that he could carry himself with the entire way, and he led us, in the huddle, talking, making sure that we're on our P's and Q's and we're going out there and playing every single snap, no matter what the score is. But for him to come in that huddle, give us those words of wisdom on the sideline, keeping everybody motivated and keep everybody heads up, that's very big, especially from a rookie quarterback.
He's nothing but 22, but they say he's an old soul, and you can
Sure.
feel it to a degree.